me find this post where Boosie was talking about Vlad. He say he gonna start doing his own interviews, man. Vlad don't want to give up the bag.
I ain't do Vlad no more. We couldn't come up with a agreement. He ain't want to pay me. I wanted $5,000 more than he wanted to pay me. He didn't want to pay me, so I think I'm gonna make more money doing it this way. And I'm editing my interview now. I ain't do Vlad no more. We couldn't come up with a agreement. He didn't want to pay me. I wanted $5,000.
And I was waiting to hear him go on Vlad and go off on Gucci Mane for ratting.
I don't know what time it is. Let's talk about it. Uh-oh. Y'all get ready. It's been 7 months. Let's go. I don't know what time it is. Let's talk about it. Uh-oh. Y'all get ready. It's been 7 months. Let's go.
It took him all this time to decide to make to create his own platform. He been going to Vlad all this time, seeing the response he get, seeing how viral he go. And he just now think about creating his own goddamn platform. He could have been did this. Vlad responded. Let's see what Vlad
What's
said.
up, everybody? Welcome to an episode.
Vlad, don't rat on me, bitch. Oh, this got 1090 Jake interviewing him. What? Oh my God.
Episode of 1090J TV. I am interviewing the legendary Vlad TV. And the first question that we're going to pop this off with is, me and you were connected through Boosie. And Boosie is one of my favorite interviewees that you've had on your platform. I'm watching every time it drops. And I'm now hearing that he's going up in price. He may be moving away from Vlad TV. What are your comments on this situation?
Well, look, me and Boosie, our business relationship goes back 20 years. Before Vlad TV, when I was doing DVDs and I was holding the camera and going to Atlantic Records and filming him and Webby, and we'll show a little clip of that. It'll show how far we really go back. You ever run into any of the cats that bit off you?
Nah, we ain't ran into them yet, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they know who they is.
And me and Boosie have had a good relationship, a great relationship, a friendship, a business relationship. I've been to his house a bunch of times. I met his family. And originally, I wasn't paying him to do interviews. But over time, as the views kept going up and people were really gravitating towards these interviews, we started working out appearance fees. And the fees slowly went up. And over the last couple of years, the fee that we actually stuck at was around was $25,000 per interview.
Woo!
And that price was justified.
Wait. I'm super invested now. I know it's real smoke. This ain't like when Charleston White did the shit with Say Cheese. This is real smoke. Vlad don't he don't reveal prices. Vlad don't tell you what he paid people? What?
Because Boosie was pulling in like 6 million views for every interview. And in that particular situation, and I showed Boosie all the numbers and all my back-end numbers and so forth. When he was getting around 5.5 million views, I would make around $35,000 off that interview, and he would make $25,000, right? So I had a $10,000 profit margin. He still made the majority of the money, but I was still making $10,000, so I was cool with that, right? And we were rocking like that for years. So some time had passed. It was, I don't know, about 6, 7, 8 months since our last interview. So I just hit him up one day, a couple of weeks ago, and we had a conversation. And this conversation was a private business conversation, but Boosie recently did a live where he revealed parts of this conversation. And in his live, he said that he had asked for $5,000 more, and I said no, which is why he's not going to do the interview.
I wanted 5,000 more than he wanted to pay me. He didn't want to pay me, so I think I'm gonna make more money doing it this way. And I'm editing my interview now.
Now, that's not exactly accurate. So, I wasn't going to put any of this out there, but because he started putting out numbers out there and people started going, oh, Vlad being cheap, why is it only 5,000? You could pay him that, not knowing the whole picture. So I'm going to lay out the whole picture for everyone just to explain what exactly is going on.
Lay it out.
So when I called Boosie, like I said, the fee had always been 25,000.
Which is a lot.
He said, I want 40,000.
What?
And I'm like, fam, I can't do 40,000. That's just putting me in the hole in a situation like this. He's like, well, I'll go as low as 35. And I'm like, man, listen, I might be able to do 30 after I run the numbers, but 35 is definitely out of the question. But let me go ahead and run my numbers and actually see what's going on. So I went back and I looked through the last, 5 or 6 interviews, and I looked, and the profit margin on each of these interviews was around $10,000. So I showed him the numbers. I sent him a spreadsheet showing him my back-end numbers. And I'm like, bro, the most I could do is 25. You're asking for 35. Your traffic has been dipping over the years. You've gone from about 6 million to about 5.5 to about 5 and some change. So you're looking at about maybe a 10, 15% decrease in views, which means a 10 to 15% decrease in revenue, as you know. But you're asking for a 40% increase in appearance fee. A 40% increase. It doesn't make any business sense, because what'll end up happening is, look, Boosie's already at home, right? He wakes up, he does the interview. There's no cost associated with him, and he was getting paid $25,000. I have to fly because I don't have a studio or a camera crew in Georgia, in Atlanta, so I have to hire a camera crew in Atlanta. I have to fly from LA to Atlanta. I have to get a hotel. I have to have all the costs associated with it. And then afterwards, I have to pay to get the video edited and pay my crew and everything else like that. And as you know, with YouTube, I'm taking all the risk because sometimes videos get demonetized, right?
Facts.
Especially when you talk about someone like a Boosie who has, he swears, he's talking about a lot of edgy stuff. And at the end of the day, I'm taking 100% of the risk. So I'm like, listen, I cannot pay you $35,000 when I'm going to make nothing. Or maybe I'm even going to take a loss. And Boosie is like, yo, you're being cheap. And I said, I'm not being cheap. I'm being put in a situation where you make all the money and I make none of the money.
And that
It simply doesn't make any business sense.
Well, let me ask you, what was it that caused the price hike? Because I feel like it would be more understandable if he just beat a major case, or if something significant happened, and you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we see rappers go through crazy things and everybody wants that breaking story. What was it that you think caused this to come about?
I don't know. I know Sean Cotton, me and Sean actually had a conversation about this yesterday. He had put out a video where he said that he had heard from someone that Boosie was upset because I had mentioned that I paid Tekashi more than I'd ever paid anyone else. And that might be the reason. I've never actually asked Boosie to confirm this. But if that is true, you guys have to understand, Tekashi brought in like 20 million views. It was the biggest interview of 2025. It was the biggest meme of 2025. The whole, I stole that shit.
Stole that shit. That's what I do. Nigga, I stole that shit.
Yeah.
That's still being used. There's a Trump version.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Nigga, I stole that shit. And I stole it, but listen, I talk facts.
There was all types of stuff. It was a huge, huge interview. And for that particular interview, yes, I paid more than I've paid anyone else. But that was a one-off. The other Tekashi interviews were not, that same price, right? Because they didn't get those same type of views. I've paid Boosie way more than I paid Tekashi. Way more.
And not only that, it doesn't seem like Tekashi is that consistent versus Boosie is more of a recurring guest.
Yeah.
And I hope that Boosie, I don't wish, whatever direction he chooses to go, but I hope he realizes the power and the dynamic that you two have, because both of you mesh very well, and it's the presentation entirely that makes it what it is.
Goddamn greed, man. Niggas is greedy.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
You pay him this, I want that. Where about you? I hate niggas, boy.
I think me and Boosie play off each other very well. So Boosie went on live. Like I said, I wasn't going to say any of this. This was just going to be a private conversation between me and Boosie. And if people ever asked, I'd be like, oh, well, me and Boosie.
I'm sorry, Chad. Maybe it's because I'm broke. But $25,000 for an interview to talk about current events and give my opinion, that sound damn good. $25,000 for what? 3-4 hours? 3-4 hours? Man, please. And then in some cases, Boosie ain't even got to leave his house.
Just busy, and, you know, at some point we might hook up or not. You know, I mean, it is what it is. That's my man. But he decided to make a video, and in the video he said, yeah, I'm going to do the interview myself, and I'm going to have my kids interview me, and I think I'll make more money this way. And I'm actually glad that Boosie is going that direction, because he'll get to see for the first time how much money he's actually made. And, you know, Boosie has his own channel.
How much work goes into it.
Yeah, he'll actually get a crash course on the other side of the business, because Boosie's never been a YouTube guy. He's been, you know, a music guy. He's been, you know, getting shows. That's where most of his money comes from. So he'll get to see what I've gone through on my end. Because right now, Boosie's now had to pay for his own cameraman. He's got to pay for his own editing. Like, you know, he's having costs right now, which he never had before, doing interviews with me. And he'll get to see exactly how much revenue he'll get. For him to make more than 25,000, he's going to have to bring in 5-6 million views. You know, at least 4 million views in order to make that back. And I hope he makes it. Because at the end of the day, man, everyone transitions and everyone, you know, businesses change and people have different priorities and everything is like that. Maybe Boosie will be okay getting less money but owning the content. That's really up to Boosie. It's not up to me. But I think it's good, and I want everyone to watch that interview that he puts out himself. And people can come to their own conclusions, but I could almost guarantee that after Boosie goes through this process, he'll see that Vlad has been fair with him this whole time. Vlad has been 100 with him this whole time. We've never really had, up to this point, we never had a business.
Man, replace Boosie with me. Let me come on there. I say all kind of crazy shit. Man, these niggas and that, and man, no, that the bitch, and man, I get on there wildin'. Give me that goddamn 25 bands. That man, shit, man, come in. What I think about who? Man, that the clown. Man, I seen that sucker ass shit. Oh shit, this nigga on here talking crazy.
Disagreement. You know, at times where Boosie's like, oh, well, I thought I was going to, you know, get this. And I'm like, okay, cool, you can have it. I'm not tripping. You know, because for me, the relationship is more important than anything else. It's the business relationship.
100%.
Really. You know, like I said, for years now, I've been giving Boosie the majority of the money. He's been making 25, I've been making 10. I've been okay with that. But at the point where he makes 35 and I make 0, then I can't do that anymore. That's just the reality of it, man. And the thing is, the fact that he put out the $5,000 thing, people didn't understand what it was, because it's like, oh, well, if he's getting 50 and that's just another 5,000, that's a little 10% increase. What's the big deal? Well, no, he was making 25 and he asked for another 10. You know, I think the 5,000 came from, I said, maybe I could do 30, but he wanted 35. And then I had to back up off that 30 after running the numbers. So really, he's asking for another 10,000. And that's the truth, man. That's the absolute truth. And I just want to say that regardless of what happens, Boosie is my guy, and we've done classic content together. You'll never, ever hear me say anything bad about Boosie. Ever. I wish him all the best. He has a beautiful family, super talented, a great interviewee. Anybody is lucky to have Boosie on their platform. But the kind of money that he's asking, I don't know anyone that'll pay him $35,000. Not to say he's not worth it. I'm not saying, I'm not telling Boosie what his worth is. People are worth whatever they think they're worth. But I'm saying in terms of the market, and you have a YouTube channel. I mean, if Boosie asked you for $35,000 to do an interview, would you do it?
No.
Yeah.
I would pass on that. And I also think that one of the elements that he's not taking into consideration, you know, if he plans on dropping this on his own YouTube channel, he has to understand you have to remain consistent. Otherwise, your active viewers on your channel is going to drop. So if you only have a very limited amount of people actively watching, and you drop a video, it's not going to go as viral as you think. Versus Vlad TV, the platform with over 6 million subscribers is dropping multiple videos every single day. When you have over 1 million to 2 million active viewers currently watching, these videos are going platinum immediately. And I don't think he understands that. He'll figure it out, but I definitely hope to see him back on Vlad TV in the future.
I hope to see Boosie back on Vlad TV in the future as well. We don't have any sort of beef. If you notice, I haven't said one negative thing about this man. Not one. Boosie's dope, man. I love Boosie. And we've had so many moments, the hypnotized with hatred, the come on dog, like, you know, there's still memes that are floating around. People love me and Boosie. And yeah, he's done other interviews, but I think if you ask any Boosie fan who their favorite interviewer is with Boosie, I think almost all of them will say Vlad.
100%.
And that's not me in my ego or whatever else. I think most people like how me and him do our interviews together because
I mean, he not lying, because when I was talking about the Gucci shit, I was saying I can't wait to see Boosie next Vlad interview. Not Boosie next such and such interview. I said I wanted to see Boosie's next Vlad interview. He's right. He's right.
I push back. I bring up stuff that he wasn't expecting. I don't let him just kind of go in a direction that I disagree with. And there is some back and forth. There is some push and pull. And I think what we do, and we have a good rapport with each other. I know what to ask him. We have a long history and so forth. Can he rebuild that with someone else? Possibly. But it's going to be some work in order to do that. And like I said, maybe Boosie feels, hey, listen, I'm fine with not making any upfront money. I'd rather just own everything and make less money and build it up over time and so forth. And that's cool. And I remember one of the things that Boosie said was like, oh, you're going to keep making money forever on this thing. But the reality is that YouTube videos don't really make money forever.
No.
There's a big jump in the beginning and then it starts to go to zero. A few blips happen every so often, but really most of the money is made in the first week or so.
Right.
Damn.
It's not like having like a timeless song, right? It's not like having like a Wipe Me Down that continues to just kind of keep getting licensed and keep getting.
That just crushed my goddamn heart. So you telling me that the catalog don't generate? Like, no matter how old the video is, like, so you telling me that videos eventually stop making, like, so the catalog don't mean shit? That's what's, I've been adamant about building a catalog. Because once people find out about me, these different, like for instance, in my algorithm and shit on my homepage, they got videos coming up that's 5-6 years old by Vlad and other people and shit. So I figure like that's what they would do to me when people find me for the new, and they might want to see what I said about some shit on the. Oh God, man! Don't tell me that catalog don't mean shit.
Played at concerts and big sporting events and stuff like that. YouTube is different, man. YouTube, you get a big jump in the beginning and then it'll go down really almost to zero. You might get little blips and so forth. So Boosie will get to experience that for the first time on his own platform, and I think it's cool that he's doing his own interviews. There's no bitterness, anger, or whatever else. We just couldn't come up to a business deal that made sense for everybody. And I felt a little bit type of way about it, but I was going to keep it to myself. But then now it was on every blog. Like literally every blog had picked that up. And people start coming up with their own conclusions and so forth, because what he put out was very limited. He just said he didn't want to give me an extra $5,000. And from the surface, that sounds like me being cheap or petty or whatever else. And it really wasn't just about that $5,000. It was about the bigger picture. And it was really $10,000, and it was a 40% increase. A 40% increase, which when you look at business, if you want a 40% increase, you have to justify that 40% increase, right? There has to be 40% more revenue. It has to be something. And there wasn't anything there. So I had to say, hey, man, I'm passing. And I was going to leave it at that. But then that live came out. And, and he did a video afterwards. He's like, hey, people are trying to pit us against each other. Vlad is my guy. I can call him up. We can laugh about it. And that's 100% true.
Hey, y'all on social media trying to make this like it's a beef between me and Vlad, bro. Like, that's my guy, bro. Like, I can call Vlad right now, bro, and we'll laugh about shit, bro. Like,
I am Boosie's guy. He can call me up. We can laugh about it. You know what I mean? I love the guy. I think what he's accomplished is incredible. Incredible. He has an incredible home. We've done features on his house before. I've met his kids. I met his baby. I got bit by his dog at one point. We go back. We go back. I even told him, I remember when I got bit by his dog, I'm like, someone gonna sue you for this dog. Because he's like, oh, you're the third person that got bit this week. And I'm like, someone gonna sue you. It ain't gonna be me. I'm not gonna sue you, but someone gonna sue you. You gotta, keep that dog under wraps. So we have like a lot of history, man. And, there's people that Boosie had problems with that I sided with him on. Like for example, like the whole Aiden Ross situation. Me and Aiden ended up working out afterwards, but I took Boosie's side on that when he was beefing with Young Blue. I kind of took his side on that. And yeah, man, I think I've been a very loyal guy this whole time. I think that me and him have done great business together. We've both made money. We've both gotten new fans. We've all done well with what's been happening up to this point. But then we reached a point and he said, oh, I'm just hustling. If I can make more money, I can. And that's true. But in this particular case, he's trying to make more money by taking away the money that I was going to make in terms of just the profit margin at all. And that to me just made no sense. So I passed, and that's basically where we are right now.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate the explanation. I'm sure this is going to clear up a lot of things for a lot of people. And like I said, I hope we get Boosie back on Vlad TV.
I hope so too, man. Shout out to Boosie.
Greedy ass. Why it took for this shit to happen for him to build his own platform? He should have been building his own platform. Then it wouldn't matter. But that was good information to know, because if he won't give Boosie $35,000, because Charleston White was getting 10. He was going around killing them with them 10s.